Hello YouTubers, this is the Obsessive Unit 95 giving you the lowdown on the latest series for Doctor Who. So, the new trailer for Series 7 Part 2 has just aired on BBC and it's now online, and basically this video, like previous videos, is just going to give you an analysis of what happens in the trailer. The trailer only lasts for about 41 seconds, so it doesn't really give. Hang on. But it is hinted that there are some things returning, and there's going to be new foes such as the Spoonheads, these people without faces as well. So it all looks really good, and again I'm really excited about the next half of this series, which begins on the 30th of March 2013, which is an Easter Saturday. So again, the trailer starts off in, it looks like a fairground at first. Everything is all deserted and you can't really tell what's going on because it's just all blurry, but I'm sure when it actually comes on then we'll know more about what's going to be happening in the episode, whichever this is from. I think it's from the Cyberman episode, but you can just see that the Doctor's there and someone else with a hat as well. No idea what that's all about, but again we'll find out when the episode comes on. And we get a close-up of Clara Oswald, who is now coming back again, but this time it's a different version of Clara Oswald, who previously seen in Asylum of the Daleks and most recently in the Christmas special, The Snowmen. So it's very exciting, and we see the Doctor just outside of the TARDIS as well, and we see the Doctor and Clara outside what appears to be, it looks like an alien planet, but it's hard to tell. It looks like there's loads of meteors and comets. It looks very, well, science fiction basically, and CGI looks very impressive from what I've seen. And also Warwick Davis, who played an Ewok in Star Wars Episode 6, The Return of the Jedi, he is going to be appearing in Doctor Who, and I believe he is going to be a member of UNIT, and he will be appearing in Episode 12, which is apparently called The Last Cyberman, and obviously that features the Cybermen and UNIT, I've been told. Then we see the return of the spacesuit, which made its last appearance in The Waters of Mars. It was last worn by David Tennant's Doctor, so good continuity reference there. And then we see it looks like a spaceship going towards this planet, and it almost looks like the sun, but I can't really tell. Then there's these other creatures, and I mentioned this in my trailer analysis for, well, the other trailer, the first trailer for this half of the series, and I pointed out that these aliens, whoever they are, they look like the aliens that featured in Underworld. They probably aren't, but they look very similar. And I thought the same thing about the Minotaur in Series 6, because I thought that was a Naimon, but it wasn't a Naimon. But they were connected to the Naimon. Then we see Clara Oswald with some candles, and is it me, but this mirrors this. I think this mirrors Amy Pond in Series 5 in the Pandorica Opens when she's about to face off a Cyberman. But obviously, Amy only held one candle, and it wasn't actually a candle, it was a torch. But it kind of mirrors it, I think. But I think this is from, I don't know which episode this is. I think it's from Hyde, if I'm correct. But I'm not 100%, to be completely honest with you. Then we see the 11th Doctor in the TARDIS, and basically it's the same line as what he says in the first trailer when he says, "Right then, Clara Oswald, it's time to find out who you really are." So it looks like this half of the series will be focusing on who Clara Oswald is and a few other elements which will be leading up to the 50th anniversary special in November. And Clara Oswald is inside a TARDIS. It's a corridor, so that's obviously from the episode Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. And then we see the TARDIS going through time, and it looks sort of battered. It kind of looks like it looks all sort of like the classic series TARDIS. It's not all. It doesn't look all new anymore, if that makes sense. So in Series 5, when David Tennant changed from when the Doctor changed from David Tennant to Matt Smith, the TARDIS became more blue. It was a better shade of blue, if you may recall. And in the Snowmen, the Christmas special that's just gone, the TARDIS is a bit more ruined on the exterior, and also the interior has changed, as I've pointed out before, and I think this looks a bit better, in my opinion, and I'm glad they've gone for that. I think that's probably the nod to the classic series, and especially the very first TARDIS exterior, which kind of looked all battered anyway when it was in the junkyard. And then probably the most anticipated bits of this trailer was the first proper appearance of the Ice Warriors in action. It doesn't show much. All it just shows is them moving about, and they are noticeably darker than their classic counterparts because they were more greener, but these are a lot darker, and they don't have fur on their shoulders and knees as well. So I'm very looking forward to seeing the return of the Ice Warriors. I'm sure it will be very. I'm sure it will be very good. A lot of people are very excited about it, who I know. And we just see the Doctor with his sonic screwdriver inside the TARDIS on torchlight mode, I believe. In the last trailer analysis, I forgot that it could go in torchlight mode, but I know now that it does, so it's in torchlight mode there, and it doesn't look green. And we see Clara inside somewhere, I don't know where it is, and we have these three faceless people who I first mentioned at the very start of this video, and they have top hats. I believe this episode is to be written by Mark Gatiss, and Mark Gatiss is also writing the Ice Warriors story, which I just gave you a look at. And you may notice in the background of this shot, well, I don't know if you can or not, but if you look at behind the middle monster, I don't know what it's called, it looks kind of like the Tricksters Brigade, I'm not sure though. But if you look behind, you'll see a grave, and the last three letters of the name on the grave are O, N and G. And who do we know who has a name ending with O, N and G? River Song. So does this mean that River Song is going to die? But hang on a sec. In Series 4, in Forest of the Dead, we've seen her die in the library. So I don't know what the hell's going on here, but like I said, we'll find out, because this trailer doesn't really give that much away. All it really does is just show the Ice Warriors and the new Cybermen as well. And I must say, I'm really liking the new design quite a bit. It's a nice nod to the Tomb Cybermen, I think. I mean, they don't exactly look like them. It's kind of like a cross between the Cybus ones and a few of the classic ones as well, but really looking forward to that. And hopefully they will be back at the very best, because I feel like in the last few stories they haven't been that great, if I'm totally honest with you. Then we see this being, and I noted that it looked like a Sycorax, but I don't really think it is a Sycorax. But a lot of people have said, I think a newspaper said this, that this was an Osirian robot which appeared in Pyramids of Mars. That does not look anything like an Osirian robot. I mean, I think this is from the Rings of Akatan, or whatever it's called, which is the second episode, and that's meant to be an Egyptian episode, but I doubt that it's the same creature, because the Osirian robots actually look like mummies. And if they returned, then surely that would mean the return of the mighty Sutekh, but I doubt that. Then we see a plane hurtling towards what seems to be a city, and I can kind of guess it might be London. And I believe that's actually from the first episode, or the 7th episode, if you count the last few episodes, and that's the Bells of St. John. And there was a clip of that shown on the Jonathan Ross show as well, and if you want to find that, then type that in on YouTube. It's pretty interesting, and Matt Smith gives a hint about paintings in the 50th anniversary, and it's a bit pointless, because what the paintings mean, don't know. And then we just see Matt Smith and Clara like struggling to get through the plane as well. That's in the clip. And the next pick, I'm guessing, is also from the Rings of Akatan as well. And there's a girl there who's got some sort of crown on, so I'm guessing it's definitely an episode which I think is set in the Egyptian age. But then the next shot looks brilliant, really. It looks like a big, massive face, and the Doctor's staring straight into it. So whether this leads into the 50th anniversary, I don't know, but that's why I'm looking forward to it, because I hardly know anything about it, and if this leads into the 50th anniversary, then I'll just die of excitement. Then we see Clara basically fighting the Cybermen. That's from the first trailer analysis of Series 7 Part 2, which I shown you. And then the Doctor seems to be falling through some sort of whirlwind. Don't know what that's all about. And Strax is returning. He's firing lasers. I believe that's from the last episode. And the TARDIS explodes once again. When doesn't the TARDIS explode? I'm sure the classic series didn't have the TARDIS exploding all the time, except for the odd moment such as Earthshock, but it's just ever since it came back in 2005, they has to like explode every series. And then we get to the last bit, and is it me, or does that look like a silent behind the Doctor? It probably isn't. It probably is just a weird looking tree, but I'm not very sure. And it looks like the Doctor is in the middle of some field. Could this be the so-called Fields of Trenzalore, which was mentioned at the end of Series 6? I have absolutely no idea, but I have a hunch that it is. And by the look of Matt Smith's face, it just looks very epic. It says at the very end of the trailer that he is very afraid, and then that's it. And then it just says at the very end that he'll be coming back soon, and it just says bbc.co.uk/Doctor Who. So that is overall my analysis of Series 7 Part 2 Trailer 2 trailer. If that makes sense. I've totally mixed myself up there. Basically, that's my analysis of Series 7 Part 2 Trailer 2. So I hope you enjoyed that. Before I go, I'd just like to talk about the publicity images for this part of the series. And unlike the last publicity images, which were of the Doctor and Amy when he's carrying her through the asylum with all the different types of Daleks from 1963 onwards. This one shows the 11th Doctor and Clara on a motorbike, and looks like they're going through glass, and it just shows in the glass reflections of the villains that are appearing in this, such as those faceless creatures, the new Cybermen, which are hopefully from Mondas, and the Ice Warriors, and the Spoonheads, who are appearing in the first episode when it comes back, well, the 7th episode technically, but it's been that long, it feels like it's a totally new series. So that's it really. So I hope you've enjoyed my analysis. Please feel free to comment below and tell me what you thought of the trailer, and also what do you want from the 50th anniversary? What do you expect? I hope all the surviving Doctors come back. That is my one wish. If that happens, I would be very happy. So I hope you join me again soon, as I will be reviewing each episode of Doctor Who as they come out each week, starting with The Bells of St. John, which will air on the 30th of March, which is the Easter Saturday. So I hope you watch that episode, which is on BBC One and BBC One HD, and I hope you tune in to see my review of that. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you very soon. Take care. Bye.